Welcome inside our Los Angeles studio alongside Zach Lowe, Brian Windhorst, Kendrick, Perkins. I'm Malika Andrews. The Boston Celtics, they keep on rolling. 10 consecutive wins for Boston now. This is pretty impressive, Brian.
That three-point shooting that they have is just devastating. You have to hope that they have an off night shooting to even have a chance in the game. And they've got so much redundancy, so many different things that they can go to. Dallas was right in this game in the third quarter. There was a ball in the air where they could have gone ahead, and within minutes they were down 10, timeout, and they never smelled the lead again.
It's the best team in the NBA. Doesn't mean they're going to win the title necessarily, but they're my pick. They're the best team in the NBA. And what I loved, and Perk, you're going to love this too, when things got a little tight in the third quarter, Jason Tatum put his head down and started going to the rim. And he didn't make shots every time, but two of them he missed. Porzingis put one back. Horford put one back. That's another thing that happens when you go to the rim. Offensive rebounds. Tatum got to the line, and then he made one. You and I have been talking all year. Yep. There are going to be nights where it ain't pretty, where you don't make 21 threes or whatever they made tonight. That's what they're going to need in some of those ugly, mucky playoff games.
Tatum made Luka call Stanley Steamer cleaners and pay for the mud that he tracked up in the first half. That's all I was asking for out of Jason Tatum, was to fight back. And you know what happened when he started to come out in that second half and be aggressive? We saw separation. And all of a sudden, the Dallas Mavericks couldn't recover. This is how good Jason Tatum is. When he wants to impose his will and be a threat at the basket and be a threat offensively and show why he's one of the most skilled players in the game, this Celtic team goes to another level. Also, I want to point out Kristaps Porzingis, right? The revenge tour. He smacked the Knicks a couple games ago and felt proud about that. And tonight he came out, he was aggressive in the first half. He was protecting the rim, rebounding at a high level. And you just see him playing with such joy. And I just think if the Celtics continue to have that balanced attack of using post-ups, attacking the basket, and knocking down those threes, that damn show going to have a definite chance of winning the NBA championship.
25 points for Brown, 32 for Tatum, 24 for Kristaps Porzingis. I should point out that 10 consecutive wins is the longest streak by any team in the NBA this season. Coming into this game, Perk, you picked 2.5, right? Teams in the Western Conference. Two and a possible half that you liked over the Boston Celtics. After watching that, do you care to revise that?
No. I mean, look, the Dallas Mavericks are not a top 4 team in the Western Conference, right? You still got the top dogs, which is the Clippers, the Timberwolves, and the defending champs, the Denver Nuggets. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics win the championship. I wouldn't be shocked. But I'm saying is this: they're still in a weaker conference. They playing great basketball, but let's not lose the fact that they're in a weaker conference.
So my fast math here is that the Celtics starters scored 105 points. Dallas as a team scored 110, Zach.
Okay, well, that doesn't seem great for the Mavericks. And look, I'm not going to panic about this if I'm the Mavs. This is a tough team on the road. Luka played great. Kyrie didn't make shots. The Celtics made a million threes. You did not. They were 9 of 34, Dallas from 3. But I have one little thing. They traded a first-round pick for Daniel Gafford. Played 6 minutes tonight. He didn't play at all in the second half. This is the second time in a row he's barely played in a game. Daniel Gafford's a good player. He makes sense on their team, another lob threat. But that's a lot of resources to give up for a guy who's kind of already becoming like a luxury item for them that they don't use all the time.
The fascinating thing about that is they had a deal worked out for Kyle Kuzma. And the Wizards gave Kyle Kuzma the option to not accept the trade, even though that was not contractual. He doesn't have a no-trade clause. He said, I don't want to go to the Mavericks. I want to stay here and be a core member of this team. And they pivoted and did a Daniel Gafford trade instead. It was going to be 2 first-round picks for Kyle Kuzma. Instead, they ended up with P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford. And Washington did have a good game, and he has been playing well. But if you're talking about what-ifs, especially in the playoffs, especially when you see a game like this where you could have used another piece of firepower, Kyle Kuzma is here playing across the street tonight against the Clippers.
Well, I think when you look at that situation with Gafford, you're looking at it as an insurance policy and also that competition inside the locker room, right? You want Derek Lively to be uncomfortable in a good way to make sure that...
It's fine, but what he's saying is they gave a first-round pick for him.
They gave up a lot. And look, they're going to need Daniel Gafford at some point. There'll be moments where he plays 25, 28 minutes a game. It's just resource allocation. It's a lot to give up for an insurance policy.